And welcome to Rauta's Assassin's Creed Shadows stream. It's another 1 hour, I'm guessing, session today, and I think it's time to venture to a new area. Let's see what we have in stock. Hello, Dixon. Game time indeed. And Freedom Frog. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Well, I just came straight from the shower to start this stream. I actually arrived home from the gym maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, give or take. I had a very nice gym session with the upper body and all that stuff, and because I had my recovery drink, I didn't just feel yet ready to eat, so decided like it would be a perfect time to game a little bit after the shower before eating. You know, makes sense, right?
Hey, Dixon.
Not gonna fight these random enemies this time because I will head out straight to the next point of interest.
Music recap came and being top 1% fan of Hurry for Minute Music.
Nice takers. Yeah, Baratrum is solid. For my Finnish black metal history series, I went through the whole discography last year. Okay, this is another let's get back to the ruins kind of a thing.
774 minutes.
That's quite a lot of listening to Baratrum. So yeah, I went through the whole Baratrum discography last year. And it was kind of fun to revisit a lot of those old classics. But like I mentioned yesterday, to my surprise, I actually like the latest Baratrum even more. Which I felt was a little bit unexpected. I mean, Uberkill is a good album for sure. I couldn't even, use Spotify stats for my listening because most of my stuff what I listen to is anyway through CDs and sometimes LPs. Like today I was, for review purposes, listening to Beheksen and Horna Split album, and it was on vinyl. Obviously I'm doing a review for Rauta about that later on.
listen to my Virgin Werewolf record and Thor off under the sign of LCD. Spotify I can listen some of the music that I listen now, but YouTube music is so much better, it has more artists and is still G.
Can't say I could really follow the conversation for a bit since I was fighting in the game. What the hell is this? Oh, this is, I get it. This is the cross game thing.
I like to have physical copies because I'm old, I guess. I also worry about not being able to listen if the internet raw.
Yeah, I don't mind listening to Spotify when I'm like at the gym, like today. I was actually listening to the latest Cradle of Filth at the gym. And after that I was listening to Morning Star, the Finnish old school band. But you know, when I'm home I just prefer to do CDs and vinyl. Okay, I'm gonna skip this quest for now, because
I also collect CDs sometimes when I have extra money.
Yeah, it's money consuming for sure. Okay, now that I have...
I listened to the Vampire EP yesterday. I like Cradle.
Yeah, Cradle of Filth is such a talented band, but I'll admit I don't have a single Cradle of Filth album in my collection anymore. It's just kind of not my thing. I mean, back in the 90s, I loved Vampire and Dusk and Her Embrace, those albums. But you know, they just don't resonate me that much anymore. So I pretty much gave up with Cradle of Filth. But you know, for checking out some new albums before making my best of 2025 albums list in January, I kind of wanted to see like what I'm missing out on certain albums that I didn't get for, you know, with a physical copy and all, because there are always albums everybody's gonna miss out. That's kind of a given with these huge, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of albums each year. So I kind of wanted to check out what was this Cradle of Filth, the new one, all about. And I can say it was surprisingly full of heavy metal ideas. I mean, a lot of those guitar melodies, harmonies, whatever, really sounded more like British heavy metal. If you would replace Danny Field's screamy vocals with, say, clean heavy metal vocals, you would kind of get a new wave of British heavy metal album out of that latest Cradle of Filth. So it's very, very pro-made and all, but I'm not gonna lie, it's not, you know, really my cup of tea.
Do you mean hockey killers? Yes.
あの二人揉めとるの。
A little bit, when the Bruins are playing.
Actually, when I visited Boston for a second time, my good friend asked me to bring him something like Boston Bruins socks, because Bruins is his team. But I felt socks are not enough, so I actually brought him a jersey of one of the Boston Bruins players. It seems it was quite a good player, but can't really remember his name anymore because this was more than 10 years ago. Something very Croatian, Serbian, something like the name, maybe Czech Republic name. Anyway, my friend was really like moved because he would get a jersey of Boston Bruins player instead of socks. So it was a nice gift to bring to him.
ふんどしが濡れたのは川を渡ったからじゃと言ったろうに。
あの時私は助けると言うたのに、拒んだ挙句が食い詰めか。
確かに食い詰めとる。
And going to Boston is exactly the reason.
Versus Red Wings mock in couple hours. Red Wings is my favorite.
一体どう
Boston is actually the reason why New England Patriots is my team for NFL.
ええ、お前が漏らすことになるぞ。
That's very nice. I'm a Boston kid, so I watch the local teams. I'm not super into sports, but I played American football in high school and co.
Very nice, Freedom Frog. I really liked Boston. Been there twice, so I really liked the city and the vibe. I also visited nearby cities, including Braintree. What the hell is this?
だったらそれをよこせ。
Small street nearby with Hancock Street. And Salem.
あの岩戸が開くぞ。
お前の手柄じゃねえよ。
Okay, this is pretty wild.
I'm from Salem.
You're from Salem, the witch city. You mean? The witch hunt city.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I have visited your city then. I bought something like maybe 4 or 5 kind of a parchment pages from the local, say, witchery shop. I don't even know where they are these days, but I brought them like for souvenirs. I think one of them had some cool pentagram design and some other witchery equipment. And yeah, it was nice city, obviously.
その石を身につけると決まった場でおかしなことが起こる。どこでかもどうしてかもわからんがな。
Hello.
Hello, Satanic Death Machine. How are you doing?
ここから東の沼のほとりにいた時、その石が応じ始めたんじゃ。
Great. Hello.
That's good to hear. So anyway, visiting Salem was definitely interesting. Felt like a very cool place with a lot of history and all. And I remember
石が
buying
光っとる。導いとる幼児は何かに近づいとるのかも。
I remember bringing one of the girls I was dating back then some kind of fancy, ghastly picture because of, it was, bought from Salem.
光が強くなった。
Stay satanic. Very nice, Rauta.
Yeah, it was really, really nice too.
Sup, Freedom Frog.
It was a really, really nice place. I also visited some of those places where these witch hunts were done, or witch trials, whatever. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to be with this. In the game, I mean.
A lot of it was in Peabody, Massachusetts as well.
Okay, cool.
Just listen to Vampiric Rites and Commander Avery's great bands.
Yeah, Commander Ragaris is good.
A lot of the hangings took place in a Walgreens parking lot.
Oh, damn, Freedom Frog. Didn't know about that.
Jerry, have you ever went to Rotten Tide?
Particulars, what is that? Rauta what? Can you, particulars, please type it again?
Rotten Tide.
Rauta, no, never been there. How come?
石とこの場の持つ力によって印が光る。不思議じゃな。あの二人に教えてやれば喜ぶじゃろう。
I have one.
I don't even know where Rauta is located.
何か起きるぞ。
Okay, one piece of the puzzle solved. Fuck, I have to be already going in about 30-40 minutes.
最高。
実は先頃絹蔵と相談してな。
したか？
宝探しをやめちゃあんたらの下で働きて。
あ、そうじゃ。頼む。
ダメ。
I enjoyed the accents you did on today's music reviews. Very entertaining.
Oh, glad to hear that, Freedom Frog. I should more fool around with the different accents, but I honestly, I often forget about it. I mean, it's fun to play with, language or languages, but, sometimes I just forget, have that fun. Maybe I should do more often, because you're not the only one mentioning that it's sometimes too kind of have fun with a little bit of accents and all that stuff.
それに何かの時は富がしつけてくれよ。
But yeah, in coming weeks there will be some fine releases coming out on the channel, especially mostly vinyl ones on coming Mondays. And I just got recently a box of new vinyl to be reviewed, so there will be interesting ones, some really beautiful ones coming in coming weeks, both in December and January.
What do you guys do for fun except music?
What do I do for fun except music? Well, for me, obviously, playing video games is definitely one of the more enjoyable ones. And of course, I do enjoy watching movies and TV series.
Going to be available. I want to be ready for that.
Freedom Frog, do you mean Nightside or Annihilatus?
Both I didn't know about the Nightside one.
Well, we recently made a record deal with Osmos, with Nightside. So a third album is going to be out through Osmos Records. Hopefully next year. We have a few songs ready, and I don't know when we're gonna start doing the new album, but it would be somewhere in 2026. Hopefully we will be starting recording the new album early 2026, but I don't know. We are now preparing some unrehearsed tracks for upcoming gigs, so we can play some classic ones, including one song we have never played live for one of the upcoming gigs. So we are now pretty much rehearsing new tracks and old tracks. And with Annihilatus, the third album is very much done. I think final mastering, maybe some samples.
Killers I mostly read and exercise. What about yourself?
So final finishing touches are to be done in the new Annihilatus album. I was just talking to my bandmate, and he was adding some samples to one of the songs and doing some finishing touches with the mixing, but obviously it won't be out this year now because we're already December.
Going to field trip to Tallinn.
Originally I thought Annihilator's third album would be out in 2025 because it was recorded already, like actually some parts were recorded years ago, and the final vocals were done like early 2025. So So I'm expecting Anila's finishing touches to be done any given day. If so, I could imagine that we get this album out in the first quarter or second quarter of 2026.
せめて稽古が終わった後に飲みてえもんだ。悪くないぞ。よって樽に突っ込んだみてえじゃねえか。
That's something to look forward to. I enjoy both bands. I'm glad I was able to get those CDs.
Thank you, Freedom Frog, for your words. Good to hear that you enjoy them. Obviously, they are very different style of black metal.
Walks in nature and sometimes lift weights, but not as heavy as Jerry, of course.
Yeah, and I can't say that I lift weights for fun, really. It's more a discipline. I mean, I do enjoy lifting weights, but I don't consider it to be fun.
直江殿、我らに稽古をつけてくれる気はないか？
ああ、相手してやってもよいぞ。
では明日来てくれ。その頃には今日の疲れも取れとるはずじゃ。
背骨がのうなったみてえじゃ。
そもそも骨があったか？
今日稽古したことをなんとか忘れぬように。
Oh, these sidekicks are funny ones. All right, let's see what we have in stock for later on. As I'm supposed to.
酒蔵から切り出されたことはあったが、樽に切り込まれるとはない。
I'm getting my aortic valve replaced soon. I'm going crazy not being able to work out much, but music helps.
Well, yeah, music definitely helps, and better to get in shape and stay healthy above everything else, really. This sounds like it's a whiskey moment. Meditation.
Most moments are whiskey moments.
I forget that I put the simplified version for these quick time events thing, so now this feels super simple.
Recover my knee lidle that I fell on when I was playing Hosi a week ago. Hopefully you recover quickly, killers.
Yeah, quick, speedy recovery, as they say. I can say hurt a thing, but you know, my left outer thigh is really like
It's a lot better, but not fully.
it's a little bit sore because it seems like, I don't know what it is in English, but piriformis is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit like overly tight. Can I say that? I don't know if it's the right way to put it. It's just feels like
Hopefully soon you get recover fully.
it just feels like my upper thigh prevents me to squatting heavy. Yesterday, when I was squatting heavy, really, uh, it just started feeling like too sore. So I'm like, fuck you, leg.
My max squat was like 50 kilograms when I was going to the gym.
Yeah, Jaguars, but your squat will be going bigger and bigger very, very quickly. Um, when you're training big muscles, you will see those numbers go up high quickly. Now 50 kilos might feel a lot, but give it a couple of months and you will like, hey, it's 80 kilos. A couple of months more maybe and you're like, hey, 100 kilos. So I remember making speedy gains with the with squat when I started. And I remember being proud of myself when I could squat 100 kilos. But, you know, it was quickly left behind, you know, when just, what the fuck, I'm going to the wrong direction, obviously.
That also surprises you. I am very light guy.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a light guy or whatever, but my point here is you can still make big gains with those big muscles. It's more about just getting adjusted to squatting, really. So like I said, I remember I made the 100 kilo squat pretty quickly, and at some point obviously it started, you know, slowing down, I mean the progress, but it certainly didn't end up in, you know, 100 kilos. I think it started slowing after like, I don't know, 130, 140 kilos, but always pretty much made solid progress with squatting. Now I can easily squat over 200 kilos. Like my one rep max is 235. So my point here is, if you just do keep squatting, there will be a plenty of progress for you with those weights. But for example, yesterday I was supposed to do 5 sets of few reps of 180 kilos, and I could do like 2 sets, and then my thigh was just hurting too much, so I had to give up. And it of course annoys me, but I know it's just a matter of time when I will like give a little bit of massage to my thigh and you know, my buttocks and all that stuff, and once that it's like taken care of, I know I will be back to squatting heavy again.
まだ食えるものを粗末にするのは間違うとる。
Hello Rauta and chat, your thoughts on drugs in concert?
Hello, Garuk.
I am asking because in the last Carpathian forest live over here there wasn't.
Drugs on concerts. Well, I mean, it depends on given individual and law, of course. I have a few friends who are not into doing drugs because it's illegal. Otherwise, they might do it. And I'm like, hey, you do you. If you don't feel like doing drugs, don't do them. It's very, very simple as that, you know. I'm not saying anybody should do drugs, but if you can do drugs, you know, and not act stupid, it's nothing worse than alcohol anyway.
I also don't want to do because couple years ago I was snowboarding, I hit my tailbone and always when I lift heavy it hurt. Personally I am happy with just beer.
Well, beer is good to handle because it's so low alcohol and no problem, but I mean, when we're talking about real alcohol like vodka and stuff in big amounts, it's as crazy as taking drugs. I mean, I'm not gonna brag anything about my, fuck, I'm still going to the wrong direction. I'm not gonna brag about, substance abuse or anything like that, but I'm saying like, you can do drugs in moderate amounts and still be more sober than by just, drinking alcohol.
Personally, I think everyone should do whatever they want but be prepared for potential consequences. I had plenty of fun in my younger years.
That's my point exactly, Freedom Frog. Very, very nicely put. So that's why I'm saying like, okay, there is no direct line. I was thinking there must be a direct line, but it seems it's not a road but a border. And I was thinking of going to this place. But I mean, like, of course you can do drugs and still be fine if you can just, fuck, I'm gonna skip this part and just fast travel instead. Or maybe I should go this way. I mean, there are lots of drugs which you can do in a moderate amount and not be an asshat about it. Like I would say, a lot of people would be smarter to say, this is of course assuming that things are legal or not getting into serious trouble, but I would say in many cases smoking a bit of weed is definitely better alternative than getting wasted on booze, But then again, I wouldn't really advise you to get, yourself addicted to any of the drugs. Doesn't matter what it is, especially the highly addictive stuff like heroin stuff. I wouldn't touch that shit personally. So obviously I don't have any experience on heroin. But having tried...
The occasional smoke is no problem, I think, but the heavier shit turns people to morons.
Yeah, Garrick, I agree. And in my opinion, smoking a lot, for example at gigs, is not exactly a good thing. But, I mean, having a hit or two, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Not more than having a couple of drinks, really. So once again, everything is about, moderation. You can do fucking LSD or speed or cocaine or whatever if you don't do it too much, But like I said, I'm not saying that everybody should do this or that. But for example, I know guys who are totally able to handle themselves whether or not they do stuff like LSD or whatever. So once again, it's all about the numbers, really. Okay, this will be by Yasuke. And in my opinion, it really doesn't matter what stuff you do if you can't handle yourself. But the good thing with booze is obviously because it's governed by government. So when you buy a beer bottle, you know what it's gonna be like. And if you don't, you can read it on the bottle, whether it's a 4% strong or 10% strong beer. At least well, it's gonna be beer, and this and that strong. But obviously you don't know that with, illegal substances. You don't never know the quality. If it's gonna be good, if it's gonna be pure, if it's gonna be some shit. Well, weed is relatively safe anyway. But like I said, I'm not advocating any kind of a substance use, so do what you do. I think it's just good to be smart and, well, yeah, it's good to be smart.
Nicotine pouches and snus in my age category.
Oh fuck. I have tried nicotine pouches and I have smoked cigarettes when I was younger, but nah, it's not really my thing.
Is in everything now. Better to just stay away.
I guess you're right, Dixon, but I think it also depends on the given country. I don't think fentanyl is that common in all the places, but I guess it really depends.
My uncle uses Odin's.
I always say my number 1 and 2, my top 3 drugs are music, sex, and coffee. I know they don't really count as drugs, but you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I feel like I could just drink coffee after coffee after coffee. But then again, it has its limits. After a while I feel like, oh, I don't need more coffee. It's really the same thing as with sex, you know. Get your load off of the system and you're like, hey, I don't need to have more right now. Let's talk about it later. Hello, Marcus. You're a late bloomer. I mean, it's already almost hot, close to midnight. And here we are talking about substance abuse and sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Excellent. I barely do any of those. I do drink coffee after coffee. Death Wish Odin Force is my favorite coffee at the moment. In Finland there is alpha PvP drug but not so much fent.
Yeah, but 3 things I could do every day would be coffee, sex, and music. I'm not gonna lie about it. Those 3 are definitely my weaknesses.
I think it takes talent to get wasted gracefully without being a problem to people around you.
Yes, Garrett, it definitely, you said it well. I mean, I've learned it over the years. I used to be a big drinker back in my 20s and stuff. It was like drinking, getting totally wasted and shit. That was like a big thing in my 20s. You know, just get it done every weekend, twice usually. But now that I'm older, and even when I wasn't that old, you know, really, it started changing. So more about getting a little bit tipsy, spider drunk, like we say. It is just more fun to just a little bit tipsy, just enjoy good beers, good taste, and not just, you know, getting wasted, really. So once again, it's all about, you know, not getting drunk, but still, you know, being relaxed and, you know, enjoying the taste, really. These days I very much just enjoy drinking a good beer, or good whiskey without even the aim to be, intoxicated. If that makes sense. So yeah, like when I'm gaming here, I do fucking love sipping some whiskey while talking to you people. It's really fun to
Enjoyed about
just
4 times in my life, all in my teens. Don't really care for such, to ingest high amounts of caffeine.
Marcus, that's
Longest
crazy.
time
4
taking pills of
times.
abuse was Roger Waters' lol.
Yeah, I can imagine
どんな
Roger
人の
Waters
好
and
みにも
getting
合う品があるよ。
terms of abuse. Yeah, makes sense. Four times drunk only. That's very, very fucking little. But I mean, I'm not here to
また来てくれるだろうね。
judge or anything. I'm just thinking like, wow,
Yeah, I also drink lots of energy drinks.
energy drinks are like meaningless to me. I just much more drink cup of coffee. Fuck, I gotta be going soon. I'm getting the hunger
Drinks have
post
lots of
workout.
caffeine.
Yeah, energy drinks have a lot of caffeine. The caffeine is not the problem, but I just
Honestly, I
enjoy
never
coffee so
experienced
much
drugs
more.
in my life. Better too
And
little than too much.
I
Them
don't
substances are not for me.
really need the
Maybe
other
could
stuff in
have
energy
more into
drinks.
it, but lost a few
Coffee,
pounds of
caffeine is all that I
so
need.
bad. I like
Like
hard
Garuk said,
drinks better than
energy
hot.
drinks taste like medicine and they're
Cafe
just too
energy
much
drink, they
sugary.
taste like medicine and are just sugar.
Yeah, I'd rather, when I want lemonade,
なれど我が氏
a
全自
soda,
坊殿の家人がおら
I
ぬの
just drink a soda.
鉄砲のお師匠
But if I
が亡くな
want
られて
to
す
be
でに生きて
energized, I just
されど
drink a
な
cup
おお
of
家の方
coffee.
の心配をああ亡き死の妻と子を父上と私でずっとかくまっておった
But yeah, getting wasted,
それはまた
it's something that I do
何
very,
9
very
年
rarely
前
these
全
days.
自坊殿は父に鉄砲の
Usually,
腕を
when I get
奪われ
drunk, it's
織田信長を
mostly,
殺すを
those
命じられ
work parties
そ
we
して
have.
しくじった
Not
お家
even
の方に
parties, it's just like
探しましょう
me and my boss when we have
佐渡と息子の
customers,
手がかりはき
we
っとあ
might
るは
have
ずじゃ
too much
探すとしよ
in
う
quotation, quote unquote off, free booze.
戸が破られた何者かが押し入ったの
I think I will do this
W
quest.
guys, check out Overeem-Beyond Unseen Gateways, great epic black metal album.
Unfortunately, I really have to bounce in a few minutes, so I will leave after this quest is done because it's 30 minutes to midnight and I really need to
塀が壊されてるここから入った
need to eat before I hit the sack in about 20 minutes, I guess.
尋ねるがここで何があった
But yeah, like I said, I prefer to be a little bit tipsy, not wasted. There's a huge difference in that. It's almost like you can listen to music loud, but not so loud it breaks your eardrums, you know?
?2人は連れ去られたといずこへ村外れの林の方だとか助けねば
I'm a night creature. I do most of my work at night and morning and sleep in the afternoon.
Yeah, I understand that part, Freedom Frog, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely a night owl myself, but work hours are what they are, and that's about it. Okay, this will be the fight of today, and after that I will have to go. And most likely being back tomorrow again. As much it would be fun to talk to you guys, have a sip of whiskey, and enjoy the game, I fucking have to bounce.
私の友垣でな。友垣？伊賀の直江という。ありがとうございます。狙いは全樹ボード。
Thank you for the streams. It's nice to relax for a little while and shoot the shit. Good night.
Freedom Frog, I agree. I think you and me, we would get very nicely along in real life as well. Just sit down, listen to some music and shoot shit. That's what the crazy nicely thing about this kind of a metal tribalism is all about. Talk some nice shit, drink beers, coffee, whatever, and just relax.
してその鉄砲は今も安土に。いいえ。
Night for revenge and goat moon split CD out now. Again, gold disc or something.
Nice, Margus. Sounds like good.
取り戻さねば。
Goodbye.
これは我が師のために私が。
Goodbye, Satanic Dead Machine. Most likely I will be back here streaming.
Just as I ordered it elsewhere, Bestial Burst released it again yesterday.
Most likely I will be streaming tomorrow again, since I don't really have any other plans for tomorrow, not even the gym.
苦痛極まる死を与えたのじゃ。まさに鬼畜の所業よ。勝姫、加藤衆であるとは、すなわちかような時にこそ互いに支え合うということ。鉄砲を取り戻し、全樹坊殿の無念を晴らす手伝いを私にもさせてはくれんか。もっと私と共に降りたいだけであろう。
Yeah, let's make this love thing going on.
染みついた火薬の匂い、すべてが愛おしい。それにどんな相手、分けても自身をも笑い飛ばせる強胆さにも心惹かれております。
I haven't listened right for revenge. I have to listen them sometime.
そろそろ務めを果たすとしよう。全樹坊殿の鉄砲を取り戻さなくては。支度ができたら大溝城の門の近くで会おう。見晴らしの良いところに家がある。鉄砲はもはや取り戻したも同然。
They're funny when they're talking about these gunpowder weapons, guns, called Teppo. Teppo is also a Finnish first name for guys, and nowadays one of the old school names.
Dirty, brutal, just rancid.
Yeah, right for revenge is exactly that. Okay, it's funny that this quest takes me back to another area. But I guess that's a very good way to end this gaming session today for this fast travel thing.
Take your word for it, I was 1% fan of Barathra Minute music. Dang, catch me all tomorrow then, or Saturday.
Yep, Saturday will be the this the monthly stream as promised, and tomorrow, most likely normal gaming stream. Don't know the exact hours, but a little bit later in the evening, probably after 10 o'clock. Anyway, thanks guys for talks and all that stuff. Now I wish you good night.
That's an accomplishment worthy of praise. Good night everyone. Thanks again, Jerry. Later.